Dan Creekmore with RPMTonight.com, and we're with Kaz Grala. Kaz, number one, I met you in Daytona Beach, Florida. You were barely 15 years old, and here you are 6-7 months later. You look a lot more experienced as a driver. What has those last 6 months been like for you?
Oh, it's been such a great learning experience for me. This series is such packed with great competition. I mean, each position is 100th apart on the ovals, sometimes less. Even here, I mean, it's within hundreds. It's crazy. So racing with all these great guys has really, really helped to raise my game. Got a lot quicker, a lot more competitive side-by-side racing. Just it's like I've gained 2 years of experience packed into 6 months with these guys. I mean, it's great, especially having teammates, having a great crew. I can always ask somebody about on-track, off-track advice. So it's been huge for me. Definitely helped my career and helped me drive. I raced late models last year, and I'm racing them a little bit this year too. And I can see the difference in the races, you know, back to back in the same car. I've just been racing a lot smarter and a lot better this year.
Okay, now Daytona was the flattest oval that anybody's ever probably run in that respect. This is a road course, so you told me earlier today about, you know, you've run some road courses before. How does Watkins Glen measure to what you've run in the past?
Well, like you said, I mean, this couldn't be more opposite than Daytona. That was a flat, tight little oval. And this is the longest course, I think, well, maybe VIR, but it's definitely right up there for the longest course that we run all year. Lots of elevation change, and it's a road course, so huge, you know, change in driving style. Probably the most fun road course race I've run was actually at Daytona in the Continental Tire IMSA series. And that was a lot of fun being in the draft. We hit 180 down the front straightaway there, so that was a blast. Probably one of the most fun races I've ever done. But this place seems like it's going to be just as fun, maybe even more fun. I'm interested to see how it races, but just basing it off of practice, I've had a blast out here. My dad's always told me this is one of his favorite tracks of all time, and I totally see where he's coming from. So I'm just glad that we're coming out here this year. It's the first year A&N Series has been here in quite a few years, so I'm pumped that I'm able to be a part of it.
Now, you get 2 practice sessions, so you've got about 2 hours worth of practice, probably not even that much actual time on the racetrack. How prepared does that get you for the actual race itself?
Well, I have to make the most out of it because most of the tracks we go to this year I've never seen before. So I really got to make sure I'm efficient during practice. But then again, when it comes race time, you're figuring stuff out all brand new. I mean, there's only so much you can get from practice. The second or third time you go back to a track with all the laps of the race in the previous year or previous week, whenever you went there, I mean, it really builds. So the first race that you do at a track is really for learning. I mean, you'll figure out all sorts of stuff. I'm sure here on lap 51, I'll still be figuring stuff out. That's the length of our race, 51 laps. So you always see little things, find little reference points, and it really helps you. So yes, I've been pretty prepared through practice for the race, but I can tell you, I'll know 10 times as much about this track come lap 51 than I do right now. And if we come back here again next year or a year after, it's just going to be more and more than I know the track.
Okay, that's the other thing too. You say if we're back here next year and everything, and everybody hopes you are, you're a youngster. Okay, it's not like you can step right up to trucks or to Nationwide for at least, what, another year?
Or
right?
more than that. I'm only 15 now, so I've got 3 years until I can run full-time in trucks Nationwide or Cup. So I've got at least another 2 full seasons in K&N, and that being the highest series I can run for points.
Right.
Next year I'd be able to run the short tracks in trucks, but you know, we haven't really thought far ahead like that. We're just going to focus on this year and the current season. Really just getting some more top 10s, maybe a top 5, that would be really great for us. Just trying to climb our way up in points. We're sitting 7th right now, so I'd love to try to get another position or 2 out of that by the end of the year.
Now, you picked up 0.4 of a second between the first practice and the second practice. What did you do as a driver to gather 4/10 of a second? Because that's a huge number.
Oh yeah, that is huge. And that was our fastest lap. That was 4/10 faster. But really consistently, we were probably almost a second faster. I think the big thing is on road courses, just getting laps. The more you get to know the track, the nuances of it, exactly where you need to be. It's a lot more complex than an oval. There's a lot more turns, a lot more straightaway. So there's a lot more places you can be, and a lot more places that you need to figure out where you need to be. So just each lap I go out there, I just learn the track a little bit more, and I think that was our biggest thing. Having some time to think about it in between practice sessions, and then get out there and try to put that in action really helped us. I talked to some of my teammates, talked to my driving coach. We got some good ideas, changed things up a little bit, and that really helped us.
Now, you've still got qualifying to do. How intense will you be during qualifying?
I'll be going for all I've got. Luckily, we do have European qualifying here, so that takes a little bit of the stress away. Instead of just a 1 or 2 lap qualifying single car run, we can run 3 or 4, maybe even 5 laps if we want to. So that takes the pressure off a little bit where, oh, you need to make this lap your perfect lap. But still, I mean, qualifying is qualifying. I'm getting extra laps, but so is everybody else. So it's still going to be just as competitive. And I mean, whoever's going to be on the pole tonight is going to be very, very good. They hit that lap perfectly because all these guys are so good. It's such a tight field. In practice, it was hundreds separating us on over a minute lap time. So that's really, really tight.
Okay, now there's a Spanish driver and a French driver competing. Have you even said hello to them, or have you been too preoccupied?
I've been pretty busy trying to figure this place out, but no, I've met everybody. We've got some people coming in for the first time this season, which is pretty cool. We got Andrew Ranger, Austin Dillon, Ryan Reed, and then like you said, some European guys. So that's pretty cool to see where we shape up with them. I mean, I know they all have some road course experience, and you know, they're going to be really fast. So it's cool to have big names and fast drivers, you know, coming in and competing with us. So that kind of helps show where we are compared to them, but also we can learn from them if we get behind them. I know Ranger, for instance, has done a million K&N races on road courses and been up there for the win in every single one of them. So he's a great guy to get behind and sort of pace yourself off.
Okay. Of all the races you've run this year, which one did you learn the most from? Not necessarily about your car, but about you as a driver and a person.
I think probably Iowa. We ran there 2 times this year, and that drives like a pretty big track. Loudon was our biggest, it's a little bigger than Iowa, but Iowa has more banking and wider turns, so it drives more like a speedway. And that's the biggest thing for me. Coming from a short track background with legend cars and late models, you can't really get onto any tracks like that. So that was really valuable for me to get onto a track like Iowa or Loudon. Just learning how a big track drives. Totally different driving style, and one that you definitely need to know going forward from here.
Okay, now, final statements from you, right? If you could say hello to anyone back home to let them know you're at least thinking about them while you're out there, you know, getting ready to drive or whatever, say hello to them.
Well, actually, I'm pretty lucky. This Watkins Glen race isn't that far from home, so all my family's out here, all our friends are out here, so that's pretty cool. Luckily, I don't have to say hello to everybody because they're all right here, so that's really great. We had that at Loudon too, so it's awesome to have support like that. And of course, support from Oslink, my sponsor, Nets, Keyclothes, my parents, Turner Scott Motorsports, for giving me this opportunity to do this. I mean, this is amazing. 15 years old to be able to be out here with all these great guys on such a cool racetrack. It's really awesome.